Hello everyone, your voice here and welcome to our channel Sansevieria 101. So for this episode, we're going to feature another inflorescence or flower bloom coming from the Sansevieria hybrid known as pinguicula crossed with kirkii, or you can call it pinguicula x kirkii. And I have a screenshot here of the first day I spotted it. It's not necessarily the really the first early stages wherein the flower spike was found, because I already found this spike that is already growing in length, so it might have been already several days when I spotted it. And I would just like to compile the pictures that I have collated on a daily basis on the transformation of the inflorescence of this hybrid. This is because it's important to me, since this particular hybrid is very similar in appearance, and the only way that you can tell it from the other hybrid is through the inflorescence or the flower bloom. So the other hybrid that I'm talking about is the hybrid Sansevieria hybrid that is called Doris Pfennig, and the parentage of that other hybrid is also pinguicula, but it's paired with Variegations. So what I'm presenting right now is also pinguicula, but crossed with kirkii. So there is a difference, and with that difference with the parentage also comes the difference with the inflorescence or flower tube. So in the following pictures, I'll be able to show you how the bloom looks like, and later on the second part we will discuss the characteristics of the inflorescence or flower tube. So this is the first day wherein I spotted it. It's March 26, 2024. So the difference between the first day that I spotted it, March 11 or 12, I think, is just 14 days. So it's really several days before I have spotted it that it's already growing in, the flower stalk is already growing in height. So even though I wasn't able to capture the early stages, I had to record this because this is really important for me and for everyone else that needs to know, because what I'm showing you are pictures of Doris Pfennig and pinguicula x kirkii put together side by side. So from that picture, you won't be able to tell which one's which. The only way that you can tell is that when they bloom, the bloom of Doris Pfennig, which is pinguicula crossed with Variegations, is very, very short in comparison to what we will be discussing on the second part of the content. So there you go, folks. I'll be discussing the inflorescence in a bit. Alright folks, so we're back, and this is the second part of the content wherein we will take measurements of the inflorescence or parts of the flower bloom for the Sansevieria hybrid known as kirkii crossed with pinguicula. So kirkii x pinguicula for short. And this is how the inflorescence looks like. By the way, this hybrid closely resembles the other hybrid, Doris Pfennig. I'm sorry if I have mispronounced that, but they are very similar to each other. That is because the parentage is also partly pinguicula. However, Doris is having the parentage of pinguicula crossed with Variegations. So there is a difference with the other parent, but this one, what I'm showing you right now, is kirkii x pinguicula. How do I know? At first it was very difficult because Doris and this hybrid looks very similar to each other, especially on the juvenile form. This is how it looks like when it was younger. A few leaves, that's how they would look like. They really look like the Doris hybrid, but this one I would know because of how the inflorescence looks like. So Doris, as I have seen with someone's or some of my colleagues or friends post, the inflorescence or flower stalk of Doris Pifnig is very short. I think it is about 4 inches in comparison to what we have right now, kirkii x pinguicula, which is having a very tall flower stalk. So we will measure it compared to Doris Pifnig. Kirkii x pinguicula has the inflorescence of, I would say, if I straighten that stalk, it would be at 16 inches. So that is one of the difference, and also I would say that kirkii x pinguicula is having a compound type of raceme. So I say compact, or rather compound type of raceme, because there is another raceme branch sprouting apart from the main branch of the main flower stalk or main raceme of kirkii x pinguicula. So it is very close to being a branch type of raceme, which is paniculate. However, the difference between paniculate and this type of raceme is that there are supposedly more branches, as compared to you're only having just a single branch that has grown apart from the main flower stalk, because of the parentage, which is pinguicula. Pinguicula is having paniculate type of inflorescence. That means it's a branched raceme or compound raceme. There are times that some hybrids would have a semi. I wouldn't say it's a complete paniculate type, because they're just having 2 to 3 branch from the main stalk, in comparison to the normal paniculate type that they are really no questions asked branch type, because there are many branching out from the main flower stalk of the raceme, or they are really compound raceme. They are having a lot of branches in comparison to just having 1 or 2 branches growing from the main flower stalk. So I think that's how we could describe the inflorescence of this particular hybrid. So thankfully it shown me its inflorescence, and I can conclude that I do not have Doris Pifnig. I have another hybrid, which I have bought as Doris Pifnig. So if that blooms, I should be expecting a flower stalk that's just as tall as this one, 4 inches, instead of having 16 inches tall of a inflorescence. So this is kirkii crossed with pinguicula. During the time that I am growing them, there's a time that I was confused, because they have grown very, very similar to each other, but thankfully one of them has bloomed, and therefore we can conclude that this one is the kirkii x pinguicula. So that's one of the many advantages of Sansevierias that are blooming or has shown you inflorescence. From that, you can base what type of Sansevierias you have. We can identify, or experts can identify, what Sansevierias you will be having or you're having. That's I think 80% that they could identify when they have seen inflorescence or flower stalk of a certain Sansevieria. So aside from that, we have measured the flower stalk, and what's next would be, we will measure the flower tubes. So flower tubes are really short, because mostly I would encounter flower tubes of paniculate type or branch type raceme to be really short. So let's zero this out. And then the ones that are above usually are the shortest flower tubes that you can measure. So I'm measuring 10.2, and they're in a cluster. This is a cluster type, by the way. There are longer flower tubes, and then there are also shorter flower tubes. So what we'll do is we'll measure the shortest and we'll just measure the longest. So this is the longest that I can find. It's a bit uh, hard to measure because I don't want to disturb the flower bloom, because we are trying to pollinating it with islances. So we have 15.5 millimeters for the longest flower tube. So from the shortest, which is 6.8, then I would say long ones would be 18.5. So there you go. So that's the measure of the flower tubes. Before we end, we'll try to count how many what is the maximum number of flowers in a cluster. So I seeing on topmost portion. Sorry, it's out of focus. So topmost portion, there is about one flower tube attached to the main flower stalk, and then on the let's see if I can focus one cluster 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think I have 7. Yeah, I think that's seven flower tubes in a cluster. So flowers per cluster would be 7 to 1, and the height would be at again, it's 16 inches. And then aside from that, there's no other difference that I can point out. But I can measure the longest leaf that I can find on this particular hybrid. So we'll do that. And I'm measuring one leaf at 16 inches as well. So as long as the you can see it's as tall as the inflorescence. 16 is the longest. 16 inches is the longest on the bottommost part, wherein I got it. I'm not sure for the juvenile ones that are growing with the mother plant, but I'm not sure if what I have purchased is a leaf propagation, because if that's the case, the shortest leaf on the leaf propagation is 3 inches. But like I said, I have never seen kirkii x pinguicula having an offset directly from a mother plant. Usually what they sell in the market are leaf propagations. So we'll wait after the inflorescence. I'm sure that I'll be having an offset or more, one or more offset coming from this specimen of kirkii x pinguicula. So you can have this recorded, and this is how the plant looks like. The tips are very sharp, so I'm very careful when I am engaging with this specimen, because they can easily, they're needle like, they can easily puncture the skin. So I quite have neglected this particular specimen because of some I have some stray cat problems, and they would topple the plant. So you can see that some of the leaf tips have broken down because it had fell down from where it is located, or where I have placed this particular specimen. So, folks, I think this is it for this content. If you have any questions or suggestions, don't hesitate to leave a comment below. And if you like what you have seen, please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching, and you all have a great day.